Good evening, everybody. Good evening, guys. Good to see you. It's always nice to see you guys. I must tell you that tonight I won't be joined by Wupe. Wupe isn't feeling too well. She won't be joining me tonight. Wupe will joining us in our next episode. All right. So for tonight, unfortunately, we're not going to be with Wupe. Wupe is unwell. She's having some flu and she'll be able to join us next time. All right, so guys, good evening. Welcome to tonight's session of Truth and Transformation. We're going to be discussing a number of things, and I'm also excited, guys, that some of you are going to walk out with prizes tonight, but because some of you are going to win sponsorship. All right, so let me just say participate and win yourself some sponsorship. All right, so some of you are gonna win yourself some sponsorship tonight. That's if you are a student. If you are an accounting student, you may win yourself some sponsorship. And if you are not an accounting student, you're going to win yourself 50 kwacha airtime. So participate and win yourself some sponsorship if you are an accounting student, right? That is if you are an accounting student. If you are not an accounting student, you're going to win yourself 50 kwacha talk time. So the 10 of you are going to win yourselves, each one of you 50 kwacha talk time if you participate. So I have a business case study, guys, I'm going to share with you and I'll ask you questions. So if you're not a student, you will win yourself, of course, kwacha 50 airtime. Right now, this is now. So I'm going to be announcing some sponsorship. The papers we are going to sponsor some of you, and of course, you're going to win yourselves some. So, guys, tonight we're looking at something very important. We are dealing with the rules of business growth. Now, we talk about business every single time. Everybody wants to grow their business. We all want our businesses to grow. All right. And as you know, we did say last time that throughout the month of November, because we are heading towards the end of the year, we are going to be focusing more on what we said. We're going to be focusing more, of course, on protecting your cash flows. And this, guys, is part of how you can protect your cash flow. So we are going to be focusing more on protecting your cash flows. And this, of course, is part of how you can protect your cash flow. So protecting your cash flows, guys, will require that there's a steady measure of understanding of resources and several other factors. Okay. So, guys, I want to say thank you so very much for joining me this evening. And we get into our case study for tonight. Please pay attention if you want to win yourself a sponsorship or if you want to win yourself some airtime. You have to pay attention to the story I'm going to share with you this evening, but because it's going to be the determinant factor for you to either win yourself some sponsorship or for you to win yourself some airtime right now. So I'll be asking you questions after I read the story to you, and then I'll begin to ask you questions. Then you'll be able to tell me what you think of the story, and then the best answers, of course, are going to win themselves either sponsorship or airtime. If you're a student, you have some sponsorship right now. If you're not a student, you win yourself some talk time. So, guys, just to confirm with me, please. Good evening, and how are you? Tell me where you're watching me from. How is my sound? Can you hear me clearly? Just to let me know that you guys can hear me. That would be quite fantastic. So let me know if you can hear me and tell me where you're watching us from. That would be quite fantastic. Please let me know if you can hear me as I bring this story to you. So like we discussed with Wupe last time, that we are going to be talking about protecting your cash flows. So now this evening, we are talking about, growing your business as a way of protecting your cash flows. So tonight's session, We're looking at Nokia as our case study. So, what can we learn from Nokia's story that can help us to be able to grow our business? That's what I'm going to bring to your attention this evening. Lessons we can learn, of course, from Nokia. Okay, lessons we can learn from Nokia. So, I'm going to be able to tell you a quick story of Nokia. I'll read this story for you guys, and I'll be able to ask you questions. Like I said, it's from these questions I'll be asking you that I'm going to determine who is going to walk out with a sponsorship tonight and who's going to win themselves some airtime and things like that. I did not want to advertise the sponsor because I wanted people that are usually on the platform to benefit. So I did not want to go live and tell people about the sponsorship. But if you're here, consider yourself, fortunate. That's fantastic. All right, guys. So let's get started. Let's get into it. So here, guys, I'm going to read for you this story. Like I said, after the story, I'll ask you questions. All right. I'll ask you questions, and then you're going to be able to participate and let me know your views or what you think of this story. So, guys, let's get into it. So here, what I have is the story of Nokia. Now, remember, we're talking about the rules of business growth. So we all know Nokia. We all have used Nokia phones before. We all have benefited a lot from Nokia. But where is Nokia? So this is our case study for tonight. Please get your pens and papers, write some points as I begin to ask you questions. You're going to be able to respond. So I want to read this story for you. I did read about Nokia, and I wrote an article about it, and I want to share the article I wrote about it with you, and then we'll discuss it. So guys, to start with, let me just tell you that Nokia was a multinational corporation that was established in 1965. And once upon a time, Nokia was the biggest mobile company in the world. Guys, in the world. Not just in Finland, but in the world. But what is shocking is that now it's nowhere to be seen. The question is why? What went wrong with Nokia? Why don't we see Nokia anymore? All right? Why? Guys, in order for us to be able to understand fully what went wrong, we first must understand how Nokia became such a huge and most powerful famous brand in the world. Number one, guys, we have to understand that Nokia bought a telephonic company called Mobira, and they were able to make a telephone handset device. At the time, it was so difficult to do so due to lack of technological advancement. Because at the time Nokia was acquiring Mobira, we didn't have enough technology. So Nokia was able to make a handset device. At the time, it was so difficult to do so. And they introduced their first car phone in 1982, and they named it the Mobira Senator. So now this phone weighed about 10 kg. It was quite a heavy phone. It could only be used when you're in a vehicle. All right. So it was difficult to be used outside because it was a 10 kg mobile phone. You can imagine 10 kg mobile phone. It's quite 10 kg phone is quite heavy. So customers loved this mobile phone. But like every other business, Nokia received some feedback from their clients. And Nokia listened to its customers, and by 1984, they made another phone called the Talkman, which was more improved than the previous one and weighed about 5 kg. So you can see Nokia reduced from 10 kgs to 5 kgs. Now, this made it the first transportable phone to be used both in and out of the car. The first phone Nokia ever made was about 10 kgs. People complained, they gave feedback, Nokia listened, and Nokia reduced from 10 kgs to 5 kgs. Now, due to the overwhelming response, Nokia shocked the world in 1987 because it was during this year that Nokia introduced a phone called the Mobira Seatman. Now, this phone was lighter than all other phones ever made by Nokia and could be used anywhere because it could only weigh about 800 grams. That was the beauty now here. So remember, see how Nokia was moving from 10 kgs to 5 kgs, and now Nokia has shocked the world again. They've made a phone that's just weighing 800 grams, less than a kg. So this new invention was a huge hit and made Nokia world famous and lots of millions of dollars because they were the only one with such a phone, 800 grams. You could put in your pocket at that time, right? So in 1991, the Finland Prime Minister, Harry Hokeri, made the first ever GSM call in history using Nokia mobile phone. So this was Nokia's huge success at the time. No any other company on earth ever made a GSM call apart from the Finland Prime Minister under Nokia. So Nokia became the world's most successful mobile phone. So in 1992, they made the Nokia 1011. I think you guys can remember the Nokia 1011, which also became a huge hit. All of us could love those Nokia. Nokia 1011 was a huge hit. In 1994, Nokia launched their best-selling series of the 2100s. I think you guys can remember the 2100 series because this 2100 series was the first feature phone ever on Earth. And what might interest you is that Nokia expected to sell only 1 million units of this phone. But surprise, surprise, they ended up selling 20 million instead. So guys, this was more than a success for Nokia because they crossed their expectation in every way possible. So whatever Nokia had imagined they would do, they achieved. Imagine hoping to sell 1 million phones and ending up selling 20 million phones. How many billions of dollars did Nokia make in 1994? They made a lot of money. You guys remember the 2200s? Now, Nokia became so successful that they did not realize that they made one big mistake. They were the world's biggest mobile phone provider. And they made one big mistake. But they didn't realize it. They misjudged the market. Though there are 1920 predictions, through their 1920 predictions, Nokia did not make proper estimates. They estimated that by 1999, there would be 40 million mobile phone users, but they were wrong. There were over 250 million users in 1999. So this gave opportunity to other mobile companies because Nokia's estimate of production was about 40 million mobile phones by 1999. But to their surprise, it was about 250 million mobile phones users in 1999. So which means other competitors were not able to supply the market. All right. So because Nokia had 40 million, and then the other 210 million came from where? Came from other competitors. But guys, even though this was a huge mistake, Nokia somehow managed to beat Motorola and became the most dominating company in the mobile market with about 25% of the total global market. Guys, you can imagine that worldwide, total global market, Nokia had 25% of the market share. So Nokia topped the sales chart worldwide in every way possible. They were the biggest suppliers of phones. So Motorola somehow lost to Nokia by 1999. All right, but guys, here's something that I want to bring to your attention. For some time, Nokia kept improving their design and features, and we all saw how Nokia was coming to 2100. In 2023, in 2003 to 2005, Nokia produced another phone called 1100, and then they went on to produce an 1110. These were the best-selling mobile phones, which made them to capture about 70% of the market in Asia. So Nokia was doing very fine. When they made that 1100, that phone made noise. Even now, we still miss 1100. It was the first feature phone we were exposed to at that time. If you thought about a phone, you thought 1100. Those of you are the guys, tell me in the comments, those of you who remember the joy that we felt when we saw the 1100. That would be nice if you can. Those of you who remember that. If you are there, please let me know in the comments. I want to know. So that phone alone, it made Nokia to have about 70% of the market share in Asia. You can imagine, close to 100%, 70%. And how many people are in Asia? There are millions of people there, guys. And Nokia was having about 70% market share. So, guys, despite their success in all this, Nokia failed to do just one thing. One thing, guys, they failed to adapt to the progress of the market because now new technology was introduced in 2010. You remember, guys, in 2010, we had a lot of phones coming on the market, different brands. We saw the Motorola phones, we saw different brands coming on board. Now, in 2010, we had now iOS, that is Apple and Android coming on board, all right? In the same way, China also introduced many local mobile phones. And you know the way Chinese people are, when they come to production, they nail it down. So in response to this, guys, in Asia and the Middle Eastern countries, Samsung and Motorola introduced cheaper and better mobiles. So we also the birth of the flip phones. Those flip phones, we could flip it, and we saw the motor laser, where you could put a memory card. We also the birth of those phones, because now Motorola and Samsung were now responding to what the Chinese people did, because China had introduced a lot of local phones. All right, and China has over 1.5 billion people, guys. So that was a huge hit on Nokia's market. But still, what happened by the end of 2010? By the end of 2010, most mobile companies opted for Android as their operating system, but Nokia was still stuck with Symbian, which made it difficult to compete, because now we now had Google and Apple on the market. Nokia was still stuck with their old operating system called Symbian. So Nokia saw the change, but still decided to focus on hardware instead of software, like other companies did. Other companies were now moving on from hardware to software. They were embracing iOS for Apple. They were embracing, of course, Android. What did Nokia do? They said, no, we are the best. We are the biggest on the market, and we're going to continue with our operating system, Symbian. But the problem was that Symbian did not have a lot of applications on it. It was restricted as compared to Android. Android had a lot of things, a lot of applications. See how Android works now, guys. Android works almost perfectly. So now what happened later was that Stefan Elop became Nokia's new CEO, and tried, of course, to reconcile Nokia's mistakes, and tried bouncing back. But just when everything was promising, Nokia was now bouncing back. We saw the Nokia Lumias. We saw those big Nokia phones. I also bought a phone called Nokia was this Nokia N2010, something like that, 1520. Nice Nokia phones. But what happened? When everything was now promising, Nokia again chose the wrong option of growth. They had a chance to grow their business, to bounce back to being the world leading mobile provider. They made another mistake. What mistake did they make? Guys, in 2010, Nokia had a chance to opt for Android, like their competitors. But surprisingly, they chose Windows. Right? Which, technically speaking, guys, was the last nail in Nokia's coffin, because Windows did not have an ecosystem of gadgets. All right? Nokia was focusing so much on the hardware. How could they not see that Android was by far better than Windows and it was easier to use? What happened next will surprise you guys. Nokia, according to them, they wanted to be unique with the Windows operating system. But what they did not realize was that Windows systems were not compatible with many mobile phone operating systems, because they had no ecosystem. Windows was meant for bigger machineries like this laptop I'm using here. And if you're watching me through the laptop, that was the purpose of Windows. So now, when I was writing this article, guys, I was thinking and I was saying, how could they have missed this? Because Nokia had a team of over 76 middle management, and they had 76 middle management and also a huge number of board of directors. How could they not see this? Clearly, iOS and Android offered more apps than Windows, partly because Windows had no ecosystem. And Nokia was the tech giant. They had over 76 management team members and a huge number of board of directors. How come all those did not see the beauty of Windows, of Android or iOS? Because Nokia could not see the change in technology, this is how the once giant mobile company failed the company and died a natural death. But when I was writing this article, and when I was just reading through Nokia's history, what really struck me the most was Nokia's CEO's last speech, when Nokia was now being acquired by Microsoft in 2013. Because again, Nokia had a chance to choose 100. What did they do? They went still again and chose Microsoft. Now, the Nokia CEO last speech when Nokia was being acquired in 2013, he ended his speech by saying, these words I put in red. And he said, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. Guys, think about that statement. This man says, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. immediately broke down, and this entire management broke down sadly. They all cried like little babies. They cried. It was so painful to see a multi-billion-dollar company being acquired and just dying a natural death like that. In 2015, Microsoft also failed to revamp Nokia, which it bought for about $7 billion. So this is how a once powerful tech giant died a natural death. So I wondered a lot when I looked at Nokia. This is not the complete research. I still have some things down which I've not shared yet here, because I want to ask you some questions and then we'll discuss. Our topic for tonight is rules of business growth. How can you grow your business? That's the focus. And we're going to use Nokia as a case study, as an example to help us, the SMEs and the business owners, to see how can we grow our business? What can we avoid? What can we learn from Nokia? So guys, what is the lesson here? And like I said, some of you are going to win your sponsorship tonight. Some of you are going to win your talk times. Of course, I've put that in the comment. So now this is the part I said I'm going to ask you to participate. All right. So I'm going to be able to share the link in the comment. If you want, you can type the comment. If you want, you can just come live and comment. I'll be able to write what you're going to be commenting and what you'll be saying. All right. Before I give my opinion, because we're looking at how can you grow your business. That's what we're looking at this evening. The rules of business growth, using Nokia as our case study. And I've just given you the history about Nokia, how Nokia became the world's biggest tech giant, up to how Nokia became a dead lion. So if you look at the Nokia story, guys, what is the lesson here? I want to hear from you before I give my opinion of why I chose this story. So guys, let's go. Tell me, what lesson are we learning from Nokia's history? What lessons are we learning from what happened to Nokia? Right? What lessons are we learning here from what happened to Nokia? I've just given you, I've just read for you, of course, I've just read for you the history of how Nokia became the tech giant and how Nokia lost and where Nokia is right now. So my question to you guys is that, what is the lesson here? What do you think is the lesson? So if you want to come live on the screen, I'm just going to do that. I'll be able to share this in the comment section so that you can come live, or you can just simply give me a comment and I'm going to pick it up from there. So to join me live, you may click there to participate. All right. You may click there to participate. So tell me your views. After the story I've read for you about Nokia, tell me, what do you think went wrong? What lessons can we learn from Nokia's failure? Right? And I'm just going to remind you guys that Nokia was the world's biggest tech giant. But now they are nowhere to be seen. So tell me, what do you think went wrong? If you want to comment, if you want to come live and give me your opinion, that is the link you can click. All right, you can click that link if you want to give me your opinion. You may do well to just click on that link, and that will be fantastic. Okay. So guys, let's go. Tell me, what do you think? What do you think was the biggest problem with Nokia? Tell me, what do you think? What lessons can we learn from Nokia's story? What lessons can we learn from Nokia's story? What lessons can we learn? Right? What lessons can we learn from Nokia's story? That's what I want to hear from you. So tell me the lessons that we can learn from Nokia's story. So like I said, I'm going to take you back a little bit again. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read this story again so that you may again have it sinking. Like I said, I'm going to be able to give some of you some sponsorship and things like that. So I'll be happy to learn. I'll be happy if some of you can be able to give me your views and what you think. and things like that. So let's go, guys. Let's go. Tell me, what lessons can we learn from Nokia's story? What lessons can we learn here? So I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna be able to read this one for you again. Okay. So I'm going back here and I'll still read this story for you again. And I'm asking you, if you want to win yourself some sponsorship or some airtime, this is the chance that you have. You give me your views, you give me your comments, and let me know what you think. Right? Like we are saying, tonight's session is going to be centered on strategy and money mindset. So we're looking at how to grow your business. So how can you grow your business? That is what we are looking at here. Legitimate ways to grow your business. Legitimate ways to grow your business. So that is what we are looking at this evening, guys. Legitimate ways to grow your business. The rules of business growth. And I've just given you the Nokia story right here. So you can let me know what to think about the story that I've just shared with you. So what is the lesson here that we are learning from Nokia? Remember, guys, like I said, Nokia was the multinational corporation that was established in 1965. And once upon a time, Nokia was the biggest mobile company in the world. Nokia was the biggest, not the second biggest, but the biggest. But how can the biggest company just die a natural death just like that? That's the question that I have for you guys. How can a big company, once upon a time, strong tech giant, just die a natural death? So tell me what you think. What do you think? What do you think went wrong with Nokia? I've just noticed that I was not streaming live on my platform. I was streaming live on a different platform. So now I've just connected my platform to this session here. Right. So for those of you who are just joining us now, we are discussing Nokia, and we are offering you that opportunity to win yourself either sponsorship, or you can win yourself. Of course. Apart from that one, you can also win yourself, some talk time. Okay. So you tell me what you think. The best participant is going to win themselves some sponsorship tonight, or you are going to win yourself some talk time. So just let me know, tell me what you think, and I'm going to be able to either give you some sponsorship or give you some talk time. So I'm going to read for you a Nokia story, guys. Okay? I'm going to read for a Nokia story, and I want you to comment. I'm not going to comment. I'll wait for you to give me your views. Once you give me your views, and then I'm going to decide who has won and who has not. Right? So you give me your views, and I'll be happy to determine who has won and who hasn't. Yeah. So some of you are going to win yourself some sponsorship just right about now. So that would be fantastic. So if you want to come live, you can just click on that link. You come live. So I'll be able to give some of you some sponsorship, and I'll be able to give some of you some talk time after we discuss this Nokia story here. Like I said, tonight, Wupe is not going to be joining us because she's not feeling too well. Wupe has some flu, so Wupe will not be with us. So those who are joining us, I want to say good evening and welcome to tonight's session. I was streaming on a different platform. Now I've just connected this platform. And I'm saying, those of you who are going to participate, I'm just saying participate, all right? Participate and win yourself. This is good, guys. Win yourself some sponsorship, right? Tonight. Participate and win yourself some sponsorship. If, of course, you are an accounting student. Okay? If you're an accounting student, participate and win yourself some sponsorship tonight. If you are not, you are not a student, you will win yourself talk time, Pacha 50 airtime. So I'm going to be picking comments. And those of you who are going to give me better analysis, I'll be able to give you, of course, each one of you will get 50 kwacha airtime, 50 kwacha airtime, or you're going to get yourself a sponsorship. Okay, so participate and win yourself some sponsorship if you're an accounting student, or you're going to win yourself some talk time. So, guys, I'm gonna read for you the Nokia story. I'll read for the Nokia story again, and then you're going to tell me what you think. What do you think Nokia messed up? What went wrong? And then we are going to see which one among you is going to be able to win themselves some talk time, or which one among you is going to win themselves some sponsorship. So that will be something to look forward to. All right. So you can either win yourself some sponsorship, or you can either win yourself some talk time. Okay, so participate and win yourself sponsorship or talk time. So, guys, let's start with the Nokia story. Like I said, to grow your business, there are some things you need to do and some things you need to avoid. So, Bupe and I have been able to prepare you throughout this month that we are going towards the month of December. This is the time for us to be able to protect our cash flows so that we can grow our business, because our businesses need cash flows. Without cash flows, our businesses are not going to succeed. It's so sad that Bupe is not joining us tonight. She's not feeling too well, but she'll be with us in our next episode. So, as a way of protecting our cash flows, I want us to use Nokia as a case study for us to be able to see areas where we can grow our business, the do's and the don'ts. What should we do? What should we avoid? And what should we focus on? So, I'll start reading this story for you guys, and I'm going to pick some fantastic comments from you who are going to win some sponsorship for themselves. So, I have 10 people tonight whom I want to win something. Some of you are going to win yourselves sponsorship. Some of you are going to win yourselves 50 kwacha airtime. So out of 10, at least you're going to be there. So let's go, guys. I'll read this story for you and I'll ask you a question at last. What I just want is what you're going is your view, your analysis of this story. So let's get started. So tell me what you think. That's what I want to hear from you. What you think. So, guys, under cash flow protection, we're looking at strategy and money mindset. So what we're focusing on today is growing your business. And I'm using the Nokia story as a case study. So let me give you a brief background about Nokia before I ask you some questions and eventually decide who wins the sponsorship and who wins themselves talk time. So, guys, Nokia was a multinational corporation that was established in 1965. And once upon a time, Nokia was the biggest mobile company in the world. Not just in Finland, but in the world. But what is shocking, guys, is that now it's nowhere to be seen. Why? What went wrong with Nokia? So, in order for us to fully understand what went wrong, we first must understand how Nokia became such a huge and most famous brand in the world. That's one thing I want us to understand, guys. Nokia bought a telephonic company called Mobira, and they were able to make a telephone handset device. At the time, it was so difficult to do so due to lack of advanced technology. So by the time Nokia was buying this small company called Mobira, Nokia was able to grow this company and was able to make a handset, right? At the time, it was so difficult to do so because by that time, Nokia was acquiring this company. There was no advanced technology. So Nokia was able to introduce their first phone car, right, in 1982, and they named it the Mobira Senator. Now, this phone weighed about 10 kgs, which means that it was difficult to be used out of the car. That was the problem that Nokia encountered. They made a phone, a big phone. It was mounted in the vehicle. You couldn't use it out of the car because it was 10 kg. That was in 1982. So like every other business, clients complained. Clients were happy about it, but they gave feedback. Nokia, fortunately, they listened to their customers, and by 1984, they made another phone called the Talkman, which was more improved than the previous one and weighed about 5 kgs. So this was quite fantastic now. Now we have a Talkman. So Nokia listened from their clients. So now Nokia was able to reduce, all right, from 10 kgs now to 5 kgs. So this made it to be the first transportable phone to be used both in and out of the car. So good success for Nokia. Yes, things are fine. So I want you to follow this story closely, guys, and then I'm going to ask you questions at the end. So now, guys, after this overwhelming response and feedback from the clients, Nokia shocked the whole world in 1987 when it introduced a phone called the Mobira Sitman. All right. Now, this phone was lighter than all other phones ever made by Nokia and could be used anywhere because it only weighed about 800 grams. Can you see the improvement? Nokia moved from 10 kgs, 5 kgs, all the way to less than a kilo, 800 grams. So this phone was so small that you could just put in your pocket because it only weighed about 800 grams. So this new invention was a huge hit for Nokia, and it made Nokia world famous and lots of millions of dollars. So Nokia was so successful at this time. All right. By 1991, Finland Prime Minister Harry O'Kelly made the first ever GSM call in history using Nokia mobile phone. Nokia was the first company, guys, in the history of mankind to ever make a GSM call. This was Nokia's huge success at the time. So Nokia was so successful that they were the biggest tech giant in the world. In 1992, they made the Nokia 1011, which also became a huge hit. So Nokia was just making hit after hit, hit after hit. In 1994, Nokia launched their best-selling series of the 2100s, which was the first feature phone ever. You guys are going to remember that when 2100 came on board, a lot of people were excited. That was in 1994. All right. And what might interest you guys is that Nokia expected to sell only 1 million units of this phone, but to their surprise, they ended up selling 20 million phones instead. This was more than a success for Nokia because they crossed their expectations in every way possible. Guys, think about it this way. You are thinking that you're just going to sell 1 million phones. Then you end up selling 20 million phones. 20 million units. How many millions of dollars were those? Nokia made billions of dollars. Imagine selling 20 million phones. That's a lot of money. All right. So Nokia became so successful that they did not realize that they made one big mistake. I want you to follow this story very closely, guys. They misjudged the market through their 1991 predictions. Nokia estimated that by 1999, there would be about 40 million mobile phone users, but they were wrong. There were 250 million users in 1999. So, what does that mean? It means Nokia's production capacity was restricted to 40 million, but there was this other 210 million which they did not see, which meant that their competitors now were able to produce and satisfy the demand. So Nokia had a threat to their business because now they could be kicked out easily out of the market by their competitors. But even though this was a huge mistake Nokia made, they somehow managed to beat Motorola and became the most dominating company in the mobile market. It's about 25%, guys, of total global market. And all models Nokia created topped the sales chart worldwide. So Nokia made a mistake. They did not see that the demand would be 250 million. They thought it would be 40 million. All right. So Motorola came on board and sold some of their brands, but still Nokia somehow managed to beat Motorola and at about 25% of the total global market share. Those are a lot of billion of dollars, guys. Global market 25%, just 1% of the world population, you are rich, you are a billionaire. But think about 25% of that. So Nokia was so successful at this point. All right. Now, for some time, Nokia kept improving their design and features. All right. So from 2003 to 2005, Nokia's 1100 and 1110 were the best-selling mobile phones, which made them to capture about 70% of the market in Asia. So Asia has a lot of people, guys. Just think about China. We have about 1.5 billion people in China. Nokia managed to have 70% of the market in Asia. You can imagine, guys, that's a lot of market share. So Nokia was just making money after money, money after money. So despite their successes in all this, Nokia failed to do one thing. They failed to adapt to the progress of the market because now new technology was introduced in 2010. Now, this was iOS and Android. We all saw the birth of Android mobile phones, Apple phones. So in the same year, China also introduced many local mobile phones because Chinese people, they are quick to make things. And when Chinese people begin to produce, It's production after production after production after production. So, in response to this in Asia and Middle Eastern countries, Samsung and Motorola, they also introduced cheaper and better mobile phones than Nokia. So we also, of course, the best of flip phones. You know those flip phones, you could flip it and things like that. The Motoleza, etc. Tell me, guys, in the comments if you remember those phones. The Motoleza, those flip phones that we saw in 2010. You know, those phones with music. Now you could put a memory card. Those things came in 2010. By the end of 2010, most mobile companies opted for Android as their operating system, but Nokia was still stuck with Symbian, which made it difficult to compete because now we now had Google and Apple on the market. Have you seen? So Nokia in 2010 they saw that there's a new operating system and it is called Android. There's also iOS. What does Nokia do? Symbian to either Android or iOS. They were still stuck with their own. They refused to accept. Okay, fine. There's a new technology on the market. We know we're the biggest people on the market, but we have this new software. Can you give it a try? Nokia refused. Nokia saw the change, but still decided to focus on hardware instead of software. Right? Yes. Nampakate says Samsung E250. Yes, you're right. Samsung E250. Yes, we saw those phones coming on board. Yes, Nampara Katere. That's in Tompa Katere. Yeah, yes, in Tompa. Thank you so much for that. So, guys, Nokia saw the change, but still decided to focus on hardware instead of software, like other companies. So the world had clearly moved on, but Nokia couldn't see. Nokia was still stuck in the past and their past glory. So Stefan Elop became Nokia's new CEO and tried to reconcile Nokia's mistakes and tried bouncing back. But just when everything was so promising, Nokia chose the wrong option of growth again. What did Nokia do wrong? Nokia chose Windows. Nokia had a chance to opt for Android like their competitors, but surprisingly, they chose Windows, which, technically speaking, guys, was the last nail in Nokia's coffin. They chose Windows. So Nokia, in their own infinite wisdom, they said they wanted to be unique with the Windows operating system. But what they did not realize was that Windows systems were not compatible with many mobile phones operating systems. Windows was not meant for phones. Windows at the time was suitable for laptops, big machineries, big hardware, not a small phone. That's what Nokia could not accept, right? This is, guys, how the once giant mobile company failed the company and died a natural death. But when I was reading Nokia's story, when I was researching, and when I was writing this article, what struck me the most was Nokia's CEO's that speech when Nokia was being acquired by Microsoft in 2013. This is what shocked me the most of everything that Nokia ever did. Their CEO ended his speech by saying, "We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost." That's what this man said. We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. After he said that, he immediately broke down and his entire management broke down so that they all cried like little babies. Because they saw a once world biggest mobile phone provider, mobile phone giant, crashing and being acquired by Microsoft. In 2015, Microsoft also failed to revamp Nokia, which it bought for about $7 billion. Now, this is how, guys, a once powerful tech giant died a natural death. So when I was reading this story, I was asking myself a question. How come Nokia failed to see all these things? Because Nokia had about 76 members of management team members, 76 guys, imagine. Managers, 76. And then they had a big board of directors. How can all those people fail to see that they all had moved on? What went wrong? So, guys, like I said, Whoopi and I, throughout this month, I've come to you and we have told you we're talking about cash flow protection. And one way you protect your cash flow is by growing your business. The cash flow that is growing is protected because it is multiplying than the cash flow that is stuck. So we're using Nokia tonight as a case study to see how we can grow our businesses as a means of protecting our cash flows. So, guys, tell me, what lessons can we learn from this story? And like I said, best answers are going to win themselves some sponsorship tonight, and of course, some talk time. If you're not a student, you win yourself some talk time. If you're a student, of course, I'm going to give you some sponsorship tonight, right? I feel so sad that Whooper is not here. She would have loved, to pick on the names of our winners for the sponsorship. Should have loved that. Yeah. So, guys, tell me, what are the lessons here? Of course, we have comments coming in. If you want to comment live, if you want to just come live, there's a link in the comment. Let me just bring it back again. There's a link in the comment section which I have shared. If you want to say air your view, all right? I've just said click here to join. Click here to join and comment. So if you want to participate, you can click that link and come live. I'll be able to bring you live. So if you want to win yourself something, just click that link. Okay. So there's the link which I've just shared, which you can click there, and I'll be happy to do that. Okay. So guys, that's the link that you can click there if you want to come live on screen and then tell me what to think. And then I'm going to see if you're going to win yourself a sponsorship or if you're going to win yourself some talk time. There's a comment here from Ben Simwanza who says, I think Nokia did not respond to the changing environment they were operating in and innovate. All right. I want to assume that. So the tastes and need of its customers were changing, but Nokia failed to respond to their needs. Therefore, they changed their loyalty to other new brands that were able to meet their needs. See what Smanza is saying? Guys, and Bernard Smanza has just hit the nail on the head. I think this is a fantastic comment. He says he thinks Nokia did not respond to the changing environment. Remember, we're talking about how can you grow your business as a way of protecting your cash flow. And we're using Nokia as a case study. And I like what Simanza is saying. Bernard Simanza says Nokia did not respond to the changing environment. They were operating in an innovative environment. The tastes and needs of its customers had changed, but Nokia failed to respond to their needs. Therefore, the customer said, you know what, Nokia, suit yourself. We are going to go to a brand that's going to satisfy our needs. From this comment, I can tell you guys, in business, you must be able to put the needs of your clients first than yours. If you like this calculator and your client does not like it, don't force them to buy it. Can you give your clients what they want? That's what Bernard Simonza is saying. And that's a fantastic comment. Thank you so much, Bernard. Guys, anybody else? Anybody else? Of course, that was Ntopakatele, who is something. Actually, Ntopakatele is on top of the chat on our page. Is one of the most engaging followers, and is going to win himself a prize. His name is at 84 points right now on Ntopakatele. You are the most engaging follower right now on our platform. So you stand a chance of winning yourself something this month. So what we have, of course, that is Wupe there. She says, yes, it was hot on the market. The motor laser, yes, the motor laser was quite hot on the market. So guys, tell me, all right? Tell me, guys, tell me what you think. What do you think was the problem with Nokia? What lesson can we? Because here we've seen what Bernard is saying, all right? Bernard says, Nokia did not see that the world had moved on. The environment had changed. They refused to listen to their customers. They just wanted to do what they wanted. They wanted to impose themselves on their clients. All right. So, guys, tell me, what do you think? What lessons can we learn from Nokia? I think that's a very good lesson there from Ben Simonza. What other lessons? And I want to point at this here. Let me point at something again here. Tell me what you think about statement from the Nokia CEO. What do you think about statement? Before I go to the specifics, look at the statement here. The Nokia's last piece where it says, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. Guys, tell me, what do you think of that statement in itself? The CEO says, as a business owner, as a business person who wants to grow your business, what can you learn from this statement? What do you see? It says, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. Did you see that, guys? Tell me, what do you think of this statement? Think about it for a moment. What do you think? This is the CEO when Nokia is being acquired in 2013. He says that statement and then he immediately broke down and cried. And his entire management also broke down suddenly. They all cried. It was like a funeral. Because it's a company that they built from the scratch. They loved it so much. And then they lost. But what do you think of this statement? He says, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. Tell me in the comments, guys, what do you think as you are telling me the lessons we can learn from Nokia's story? What lessons can you learn as a business owner who is trying to grow your business? What lessons can you learn from the downfall of Nokia? I've given you the full story about Nokia. Of course, I've summarized this article. There's a lot of information, but when I was writing this article, I was summarizing stuff to suit our discussion. Like I said, Bope and Dad said we're gonna be able to do the mindset change towards cash flow protection. So we're using business tonight as a way of protecting your cash flows. All right, business growth, the rules. So tell me what you think, guys, in the comment. Let me see. And some of you, yes, tonight are winning yourself scholarships and talk time. Some of yourselves tonight are winning yourselves sponsorships, and of course, you're winning yourselves some talk time. So, guys, tell me in the comment, what do you think went wrong with Nokia? Okay, so Stumbeko Susiku says this. Research and development is a vital department in modern business. Always invest in it. So, guys, see, this is something that shocked me here. Research and development. And Nokia being the world's biggest tech giant, they had this department. This is why I was asking you this question here. See what I said in my article. I said this. If you go up here, this is what I said earlier. I said it shocked me also here. I said here that how could Nokia's management fail to see that the world had changed? Okay, here is what I said. What Susiku is saying is what I said here. All right, I said, how could they have missed this? The world was changing. All right, Nokia had a research and development department. But how could they have missed the fact that Android and iOS were a much more better option? How did they miss this fact here, guys? How? That's what Susiku is saying. All right? How? How did they miss that? So, guys, tell me, what lessons can you learn from Nokia's downfall as a business owner? How you can grow your business? What lessons can you learn? And also comment on this statement by the CEO. We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. Tell me, what do you think of that? And thank you so much, guys. I'm taking note of the comments, and at the end, I'm gonna Stumbeko, that's fantastic. Stumbeko Sugar is fantastic. So there we go. So here we have another comment from Frido Chilengi. He says, just join the program and can't wait to learn more as I'm planning to enroll with Zika next year. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Frido. We have Joyce Momba who says the CEO didn't think the world has changed to new brands. Nokia as a company failed to manage the brand. Okay, fantastic. So Joyce says Nokia could not manage the brand. All right, that's fantastic, guys. Guys, as a person that wants to grow a business, what can you learn from Nokia's downfall? We have read Nokia's story. We have seen what went wrong with Nokia. And now I want you to tell me, guys, what do you think went wrong? So Joyce says the CEO didn't think the world has changed. And see what the CEO said. He said, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. That's what the CEO said. He did not think they did anything wrong, according to him. All right. He says we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. So, guys, tell me, as somebody who wants to grow a business, I'm also going to be able to give you my view, but I want to learn from you also. All right. One thing that I would like to encourage you, if you are going to grow your business, have the willingness to learn. The inability to learn can be your downfall. Now, I always advise my clients and say, you know what, if you are going to learn something about your business, learn from your clients. The clients were giving Nokia feedback. Nokia refused to learn from their clients. All right. Nokia was still living in the past because they were the world's most powerful brand, like Joyce is saying. All right. Okay. They were the world's most powerful brand, and as such, they couldn't accept that some smaller guy who made Android and some guy called Steve Jobs, some guy who came up with the issue to do with Apple, could overtake them. They didn't accept that change. Because they didn't accept that change, they were dying a natural death. All right. So that is what was happening, of course, with Nokia. Okay. So that was what was happening with Nokia. Nokia died a very much natural death. Now let's see from Mukuka. Mukuka says, when someone starts thinking he is stable and has everything that others don't have, then unfortunately such kind of a person or entity knows nothing. Business should be built on a daily basis. All right. So what Muka is saying, that was what Nokia couldn't do. All right. Nokia was so comfortable that they did not think that they needed to change. See, they had a chance to go to Android, but what did they do? They go to Windows. Let's get to Ntompa. Ntompa currently is like I said, is one of the most engaging followers on our platform. Is at 84%, and this man, I can assure you, is winning something at the end of this month if he maintains his participation. So Facebook now has a way of showing you who is engaging more and who is not. So we see that from the behind the scenes. So guys, the business to survive in the long run, it needs to adapt to change and provide what the customer needs at that point in time. Boom. That's what Nokia could not see. Guys, customer is boss. All of us will do what we do because of our clients. If you ignore your client's outcry, you're going to lose. And that's what Nokia did. Nokia did not listen. Nokia refused to learn from their clients, but also they refused to learn from their competitors. It's okay to learn from your competitors. What's not okay is copying the exact thing your competitor is doing. Being creative does not mean you have to come up with new things. Being creative means you can look at your competitor and see what your competitor has done wrong, and then come up with something that solves the problem that your competitor has failed to solve. And that's the mistake Nokia made. Let's go to Brent again. Brent says the CEO and his team were following the company's strategy that could have been approved by the board of directors. But the strategy they followed caused them to lose customers, resulting in loss of revenue and eventual failure of the company as cash is king in business. Yes, Bernard. I think Bernard, you're giving us a lot of sound comments. That's fantastic, Bernard. Thank you so very much. That's a very constructive comment there, guys. You see why I agree with Bernard. I agree with Ben because the CEO, he says he didn't think he says we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. The CEO did not think they did anything wrong. And that's what really shocked me a lot. But here, Ben says the CEO and this team were following the company's strategy that could have been approved by the board. That is the keyword, could have been. So we give the CEO the benefit of the doubt. Say maybe it was just following the rules. Right? That's why I said we did everything that we said we were going to do, but things didn't work. But I had a problem with the CEO because he had the chance to move from Symbian to either iOS or Android. The first time they refused. The second time again, Nokia made the same mistake. As a business owner, change with the world. Business growth means when the world goes to the left, you go to the left with it. When the world goes to the right, go to the right with it. Don't be afraid of change. No matter how slowly you're going to move towards change, it's okay. What should be afraid of is being stand still, standing on the same point. That's what Nokia did. Nokia was on the standstill with Symbian. They were now making smaller phones, big, whatever feature phones, different design, different shapes. But the issue of the phone is about the software, the operating system. Nokia could not maintain that. Nokia couldn't maintain that. All right, they failed to move. So guys, like I say, I'm counting comments. So tell me, I'll be giving my views as well. I want to see who's our winner of our sponsorship tonight, and also who is winning the 50 kwacha airtime. Some people are going to win themselves talk time. Some of them are going to win themselves sponsorship tonight. Okay, I wish Rupe was here. Yeah, it could have been fantastic. She could have been happy to mention some of the names here. So guys, let's continue. So like I said, guys, earlier, when you are growing your business, there are things that you must be able to do if you are going to succeed in your business. And one of those things that you really need to look at, that you really need to consider if you are going to grow your business, is the ability to learn. Learning is the most important thing that you must embrace. Apart from learning, you must embrace awareness. Those are the rules of business. But because if you're not aware of your environment, you cannot change what you do not think is affecting you. The Nokia CEO was not aware of his environment. The man did not think that the world had changed. So because he lacked awareness, he did not progress the way he should have progressed. So if you are not aware of your environment, that will be your downfall. Be willing to learn from your competitors. Be willing to learn from your mistakes. Be willing to learn from those that are doing fine. That's the mistake Nokia made. They were not willing to learn from their competitors. All right, and that's what we call under risk. So I'm going to take you back here just a bit to go and see how Nokia missed something. There was a comment here from Stumbego about research and development, but also there was a comment from Stumbego talked about risk. Okay, let me show you something about risk, something that Nokia missed. All right, let me show you something. That Nokia missed. Okay, let me show you something else that Nokia missed. Here's what Nokia missed. I'm gonna show you this from my one of my diagrams here. So I'm gonna go there. So let me take you back to one of my models here. Okay, I have a model here about risk. All right. Now I'm going to show you something different here. I'm coming here. I'm coming here on this. This is another model I have about a risk model. This model, what it does, it compares the risk impact on your business to the return. Right. So you're looking at the impact, of course, versus return. So that model compares risk impact, of course, to return. It says if the impact will be high, but the return will be also high, can you cautiously examine? Right? If the impact will be high, but the return will be low, can you please avoid? Nokia misjudged something. And here's what they misjudge. See this thing here on the types of risks here. We have different types of risks here. All right. Of course, we have speculative risk. This is a two-way risk. There could be something good or something bad can happen. For example, new product launch. You may launch a new product. All right. It may work. You may benefit. It may not work. All right. You may buy an advanced machine. It may serve you well. It may not serve you well. There's something called upside risk. There's a possibility of a gain under this risk. There's something also called credit risk. This is something to do with business. You borrowed money, then they come and get back your assets because you failed to pay. There's also something called liquid risk of you being unable to pay the people that you owe. There's also something called technological risk. This is what Nokia missed, the technological risk. Nokia did not assess the impact of this risk on their business. The impact of this risk was very much high. All right. Nokia misjudged this risk, the technological risk that they had. But where was this risk coming from? All right. Where was this risk coming from? That's one thing we must be able to establish here. Where was this risk coming from? This was an external risk. All right. Nokia did not accept this external risk. It was coming from who? From competition. Nokia had a lot of competitors, but they did not want to accept. See, external risk simply means risk arising from the external environment. A good example is competition or potential entrance to the market. We have Chinese people coming up with their own phones, all right? India, all right? Middle and Eastern countries also coming up with their own phones. We had Samsung, we had Motorola. What did Nokia do? Nokia ignored all those competitors. They were still thinking they were still in charge, all right? If you cannot learn from your competitors, if you cannot accept that there's competition, that is arrogance. You're going to be out of business before you know it. Like Nokia was out of business because they underestimated the power of competition. They underestimated the power of underdogs, the new entrants to the market. So as you are trying to grow your business, can you put one eye on your competitors? Competition, because it is competition that has a huge say on also your prices. Learn from your competitors, see what they are doing right and what they are doing wrong, and then improve on that. Nokia had a choice to either make their own operating system, which would have taken them a lot of time to develop, or to simply jump on Android or iOS, which was a better move. But because of pride, arrogance, I know it all, they could not jump on the next available operating system. So what really killed Nokia was their inability to learn, arrogance, their inability to see that competition was growing, but also they were underestimating the underdogs, the new entrants to the markets. Those are some of the factors that made Nokia to fail. They did not analyze competition, they underestimated their underdogs, and they did not assess the impact of the technological risk, this risk here. They did not look at that risk properly. They underestimated the impact of that risk on their business. So Nokia was still thinking, you know what, we're in charge. We can do ABCD. It's okay, nobody can be better than us. What they did not know was that this risk was so high that it was willing to take them out of business almost instant. So I'm not going to go through all the categories of risks and how Nokia should have done it better and things like that. Because tonight I'm focusing on you telling me what you think, what Nokia could have done better. So guys, tell me, what could Nokia have done better? What lessons are we learning from Nokia's story? All right, that's the whole purpose of this session. It's not for me to tell you everything, but I want to learn from you, right? Because in November we are protecting our cash flows. If you don't learn from your competitors, you are not protecting your cash flows, because eventually you stop having money. Customers are going to be buying from your competitors. So how do you protect your cash flows? Is for you to be able to do something that makes customers to come to you and stay with you. That's one thing I want you to take away on cash flow management, on business growth. All right. So I'm gonna get back here, guys. Let's see some comments here. Okay, Frido again is back. Okay, yes, there's a nice comment here from Mukuka who says, if you're always on top and then you somehow become reluctant to advance and adapt to something that may seem to be simple, it's very easy to be removed from the track. No matter how the business may seem to be stable, never should we underrate upcoming competitors and simple risks. Boom! That's the comment Mukuka there. Nokia underrated the underdogs, the Motorola's, the Samsungs, the Chinese guys. Nokia was still thinking, you know what? We are the big boys here. Nokia underrated all those guys. All right. Never underrate your competitors. Never underrate your competitors. It is competition that reduces prices. All right. Here where I live, there's a guy, there's a place where I buy shawarma. I used to buy one shawarma 35 kwacha. This last week when I went to buy, they told me it's 30 kwacha. Then I noticed, but why have they reduced the price? I noticed just at the neighbor, there's a guy who has opened another booth for shawarma. He's also selling shawarma 30 kwacha. So the neighbors were forced to reduce from 35 to 30 kwacha because of a competitor next. So what those people I buy from shawarma did, they knew that this competitor was doing shawarma 30 kwacha, was doing that 35. It means it's going to take away our clients. So how can we keep our clients? Is for us now to be forced to reduce our prices to 30 kwacha also. Because they're just neighbors. Nokia could not do that. And that's how come they're out of business. All right. So guys, that was pretty cool. Let's see. This is who's this one? Mutinda N. Komeni says Joseph Lungo. Okay, Mutinda is tagging the friend. Let's go to Frido. Frido says, be willing to learn always and always learn from your competitors or think like Nokia. Yes. Learn. Okay, it's tagging a friend. So guys, any other thing that Nokia could have done better? Remember, I was saying this is November, guys. We are entering December. A lot of people are going to be spending monies, buying stuff for loved ones and things. It's a good thing. But Bupe and I, the whole month of November, December, we are campaigning to saying, guys, this is the month to protect your cash flow. This is not the time to begin to give out monies unnecessarily. So tonight's session is about business growth as a way of protecting your cash flows, right? The things to avoid. So avoid the things that put your business at risk, because if your business is at risk, your cash flows are going to be affected. That's the problem, right? So avoid what Nokia did. Do better than Nokia did. Even though people say you are good. No, I do financial reporting. I think I'm a genius in that course. Honestly, guys, I've produced country best before. So when I say I'm good at it, it's because I have taught people that have been the country best. I do strategic business analysis. I've taught people that have been best students. So when I say I'm good, because my results can show. All right. When it's come to advanced audit, I've produced a country best before. My results can show. All right. But even when people tell me you're so good at financial reporting, you're so good with audit, you're so good at financial management, I don't take it for granted. I keep learning every day because I want to keep sharpening my skills. So when I stand in front of students and people and I speak about financial management issues, they're able to see somebody knows what you're talking about. Because I know there's someone else who's studying just like me. There's someone else who's coming behind me who's going to overtake the business if I don't improve. So if you're going to protect your cash flows, you must be willing to improve, but also you must be willing to compromise. You cannot always get what you want in business. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes. It's okay. What's not okay is to refuse to learn from your competitors, to refuse to grow. Lack of awareness, pride, those are not okay. So guys, let's see who is winning our. So just tell me if you're watching and a student, let me see. Just tell me if you're a student. If you're not a student, please let me know. But I see who is winning talk time and who is winning sponsorship. Let me just get a pen so that I see who is winning sponsorship, of course, and who is winning talk time. All right, so let's see who is winning sponsorship and who is winning talk time. That is Kareb Piri says is watching. So guys, if you're a student, just let me know that you're a student. If you're not a student, let me know that you're not a student so that I know what do you want to win between sponsorship and talk time. So let's see who is winning what. Okay, Ben Simanza is a student. Ben Simanza, I like your analysis. I like your commentary. To be honest, you've done better, Ben Simanza. And I'm gonna give you, of course, some sponsorship. So tell me, what paper do you want to do next semester, Ben Simanza? Which one would you like to be sponsored into? That you can come and join a free class. Which one, Bernard? Let's see which paper Bernard wants to do so that we can put Bernard into a class. Okay, so Bernard is a student. Okay, let's see. Okay, Bernard has participated very well. I think Bernard deserves a win of a scholarship. What paper do you want, Bernard? Okay, let's see. Frida is a student. Frida has participated. Tell me what paper you want if you're a student. Caleb Piri is a student. Tell me what paper you want if you're a student. Caleb Piri, I've not seen your participation. I've not seen your comment. Uh, let's say Stumbeko is not a student. Okay, so Stumbeko is not a student. So Stumbeko wins talk time. Wins 50 kwacha talk time. So Stumbeko, what you do, those of you are winning talk time, just WhatsApp me on 0953 979798. WhatsApp me on that number now, Stumbeko. Just WhatsApp your full name, Stumbeko. That number there, so that I can send for you some talk time. Tell me the talk time that you want. Bernard Simonza says he needs advanced financial reporting and advanced audit and assurance. So, Bernard Simonza, choose one. I'm giving you sponsorship for one course. Which one should I put you on, Bernard Simonza? Advanced reporting or advanced audit? Which one, Bernard Simonza? Okay, Bernard Simonza wins himself a sponsorship for, in one of these papers. Just tell me which one. Okay, Ntompa says, I'm a CA advisory level student. Fantastic. So which paper do you want, Ntompa? Ntompa, you are doing well right now. Thank you so much. I see your participation. So Ntompa, which one category do you want? Ntompa category is a student. This one wins himself some sponsorship. What one do you want? Let's go to Bernard. Bernard, advanced financial reporting. Okay, so Bernard wins himself advanced financial reporting sponsorship. Advanced financial reporting. So Bernard Simonza, all you do, text me your full names and your NRC number on my WhatsApp line. I'll be able to take it up from there. Tomorrow, I'll send for you everything that you need to join the class. Yeah. All right. Ntompa wins himself AAA Advanced Audit and Assurance Sponsorship. All right. WhatsApp me, Ntompa, send for me your full names and NRC number. I'll be able to send for you all the details tomorrow of where you're going to join the class for Advanced Audit and Assurance. Frido says, I'm a student. Yes, Frido, what paper do you, what course do you want? Some sponsorship from what course do you want? Mukuka also is a student. Yes, Mukuka, what course do you want? Tell me the course that you want. All right, Bernard, thank you. So, Bernard, you are very sound. I have no doubt you do better with audit and assurance, advanced audit and assurance. You do well. That's quite good analysis there. Tell me the course that you want, Frido, and okay, Frido says audit. Fred Mzonda, come on now. That's you. So Fred, very good. So Fred Mzonda, that's audit. Audit and assurance. Okay, fantastic. All right, Ntompa Kateri, thank you very much. Actually, Ntompa Kateri, you're winning something again. You are on top of the chart on my followers. You're at 84%. You're at 84 points. So if you maintain your participation this month, you're winning yourself something really nice. Let's go to Fred says audit and assurance. Okay, Fred Msonda audit and assurance. Who else? I don't want to miss anybody who's been participating. Mukuka Vigilius. Is that Vigilius? Vigilius Mukuka. Muka says I'm a student. Muka, what paper do you want? What course should we give you some sponsorship into? Rollins says I'm a student, but I've not seen your participation. Unfortunately, Rollins, you've not participated. We said those who are participating are going to win themselves some sponsorship. So these are the people who have participated. Rollins, I've not seen your participation. Tumbeko is not a student. Tumbeko is winning himself some 50 Kocha talk time right now. I'll send it after this class. Caleb Piri, I've not seen your participation. Unfortunately, sorry, Caleb. Let's say, okay. Okay. Fantastic. I don't want to miss Mukuka. Mukuka, yes, I've seen. Oh, Lawrence is there. Lawrence says management decisions, dysfunctional organizational structures, growing bureaucracy, and deep internal rivalries all played a part in preventing Nokia from recognizing the shift from product based competition to one based on platforms. That's fantastic, Lawrence. Tell me the cost that you want, Lawrence. And actually, Lawrence, what you're saying is true. I did a further research to see why Nokia did not see that. Okay, Lawrence is here. Okay, let's see what Lawrence has to say. Guys, I'm bringing Lawrence live. Yes, Lawrence. So I've brought Lawrence live here. Lawrence has joined us. Yes, Lawrence.
Yes, good evening.
Evening, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. And how are you?
I'm very much fantastic, Lawrence. Talk to me.
I'll just speak on the course that I
Yes,
need.
yes. Yes, Lawrence.
Management accounting.
Management accounting. Okay.
Yes.
So send for me a message, Lawrence. Lawrence Banda, send for me a message with your full names and NRC number, and just tell me the course, as you send the message. MA. All right. Okay. Good.
Okay.
I'll pick it up with you tomorrow. I'll send for details of how you can join the class. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. And this is a great discussion that we are having. It's a great
Indeed.
discussion.
Indeed.
Yeah, and I love your analysis. So
Thank you so much, Lawrence.
keep up with the same spirit. Otherwise, we are learning a lot from you.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lawrence. I've also liked your comment here. Actually, what you said, Lawrence, is what I researched. Nokia's management, about 76 management members were interviewed. I know what they said. They said they all knew that the option they made was a bad one, but they were scared of losing their jobs because the top directors were threatening the mid managers. They were telling them they were not being serious, they were not ambitious enough, and because of the fear from the top management, the mid management could not tell the top management the truth. That was the problem.
Exactly.
So that contributed to the downfall. That's what your comment is saying. Dysfunctional organizational structures, growing bureaucracy, and deep internal rivalries all played a part in preventing Nokia from recognizing the shift from product-based competition to one based on platforms. And this is what happens even now. If you begin to argue and manage yourselves as partners, you are going to sink. You must come to an agreement where you simply do what is best for the business, not who wins, but what is best for the business. Thank you so very much, Mr. Rollins. I'll take it up from you tomorrow. Give me a text of what of the course you've set on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, I'll be happy to take it up from there. Thank you so very much. Let me bring Nox Mwanje on. Yes, Mr. Mwanje. Good evening. Hi, Mwanje. Okay, I'm going to remove Mwanje. Okay, Nox Mwanje. I've removed Nox Mwanje. Let's see if there's another comment here. Okay, audit and assurance. This is Mukuka says financial management. Okay, Mukuka, send for me a message. Mukuka. Mukuka, that is Mukuka Vegirius, all right. Mukuka Vegirius says financial management. Send for me a WhatsApp message with your full names and I'll take it up from there. All right. So there we go. All right. Okay. So guys, anybody else? Okay, guys. So I thought we could come live. Okay, we have. I thought we could come live so that we can discuss a business growth as a way for protecting your cash flow, and also be able to give some people some scholarship. So we're gonna come back with Bupe in our next episode of cash flow protection. So tonight, as we go home, our take home is that if you're going to grow a business, be willing to learn, be willing to take responsibility when you make mistakes. All right. Your decision should be based on what is good for the business, not what makes you feel good. All right. Be aware of the environment in which you're operating. Do not be arrogant. Do not underestimate competition. Do not underestimate the underdogs, the new entrants to the competition. So, guys, thank you so very much. Those who have joined me, I'm just trying to make sure I've not missed any comment from those who participated. Please give me a message. And of course, Mr. Stumbeko, I'm going to be sending for you talk time just when I hang up just about now. Let's see if I missed any comment. No, I've not missed any comment. I think I've seen all the comments. If I missed anybody, no, I've not missed anybody. I'm just trying to confirm if I've missed anybody. Okay, there's Joyce. Joyce. Okay, Joyce has commented. I don't know what Joyce wants, if she's a student or if she's not a student. But thank you so much, Joyce. It's good to see you. Like I said, you may tell me what you would like and see how we can. Okay, yes, I've not missed any comment. Okay, all these things are here. Yeah, okay, so that's Buperia, guys. She's not feeling well today. Thank you so much, my friend. It's good to have you here. I hope to see. I hope you get better soon. My regards to the family and also to Mr. Moses. Pass my regards. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me this evening. Let's see. Fred. Okay, thank you so much, guys. So, guys, have a fantastic night. This is where we end tonight with our growing our business as a way of protecting our cash flows. Lessons we can learn from Nokia. All right. So tonight it's you guys who have taught us things. So I want to say thank you so very much. I really appreciate your participation. Yeah. Okay, guys, have a fantastic night. And it's bye from me. I'm going to see you, of course, when you see me in our next episode with Bupe on Friday, same time. Thank you so very much, guys. Have a good night and bye-bye.